a normal affinity champion here that is completely dominating the arena, and I'm surprised this isn't being talked about by pretty much everybody. One of the things that you're going to notice in the current arena meta is people are running like the tankiest champions ever. And what's a main issue with running the tankiest champions ever? They're pairing them with revivers, and the battles are taking, let's just say, long. So what we're going to introduce and what I'm going to talk about here today is going to be an epic champion that, like I said, just completely dominates across the board here. And I'm calling it like the stay down team. So you kill them, they stay dead. What does that mean? Block revive here. So really cool, excited to talk about it. So let's dive right into it. What up, team? It is MurderInc here. We're talking about the stay down tactic, okay? And which epic is that going to be that we're going to be talking about? We're going to build it for you all here, and that is none other than Phoenix. What do I like about Phoenix right off the bat? He's a champion that doesn't have, I guess, a meta use in any area of the game. A lot of arena nukers have spots where they can also be good in other areas for most players. Now, this champion's going to be good regardless of where you are in the game. If you pulled this guy early, GG, you're set. If you're like in mid-tier progression, you're set. End-tier progression, you're set. The only place it's going to be really hard to make this guy work is if you're in, I don't know, one of the 100, 200 best players in the world competing in Platinum Arena, and you already know that. However, he was still strong and he can still be used in that scenario because I've seen it. I've seen my clan mates, part of the best arena clan in the world, using this guy, dominating the best defenses in the world with Phoenix. So that's what I want to talk about. I'm going to build him, I'm going to use him, and let's talk about why he's so good. It's this A1. Hits like an absolute truck. Extra hits if the target has any debuffs. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. You don't care about the A3. You don't care about the A2 at all. All you care about is the A1. Why is that so strong? Baseline, let's forget about the extra hit on debuffs and the block revive baseline here. It's an A1 ability. So if you're fighting warlords or you've been skipping warlords, you've been skipping Yumeikos, you don't have to do that anymore. You have this powerhouse of a champion that's going to, like the name, cause your opponents to stay down once they're down. So we're going to build him, and it's a really fun team to use. And I anticipate a lot of players, I mean, if you see this video, you're going to build this guy right away. He's fun to watch in action. Like I said, he pumps, and I would expect him to be everywhere. I already know there are people using this guy to great success. And after what I show you, you're probably going to hop on that bandwagon as well. So let's build him up as best as we can here and try to find some really good teams. So of course, for the banner, we don't need accuracy, we don't need HP, we need none of that stuff. We want pure damage. So this is speed. Another thing, what makes him so good, and I'm glad that this speed thing popped up here, is a lot of teams have stone skin gear. So if you have stone skin gear, it's really annoying. You can bomb the teams for sure, but any good defense with stone skin is going to have a champion that cleanses, paired with the stone skin champion. So if you place bombs on, they're going to cleanse it and they're going to eventually win. So what do you have to do on this guy, which is great news for many players? Build him slow. And I mean slow. If you can put him in reaction, go for it. If not, it's not a huge deal because you're going to use the other 3 spots in your arena team. Their only job is going to be protect Phoenix at all costs. Almost every single team, offense and defense, is going to have some type of reviver in it. So pairing a reviver with Phoenix is going to help you out tremendously when you're fighting, because if he does fall over because he's going to be a glass cannon and you cannot support him, you simply just revive him. You wait out that really annoying stone skin gear and then you destroy your enemies. Keep them down. You don't have to target the revivers, which are probably going to be in stone skin. You can hit all of the other annoying champions around the stone skin champion and make sure they're out of the battle from the start, which is why I just love this champion so much. So the next piece here, On Shamail, okay, it's quad speed. Can I just get an attack banner with attack percent? Do I even have one? I guess this is my best. A double, that's what I'm working with. Unlucky. I thought I had something good in every faction. I guess that is not true. So next we want crit damage with a substat of attack here. And we're just gonna look, what can we get? Double attack on reaction, already a good start. Is that going to be the best? Double attack again, single attack, single. Okay, we're gonna go with the double reaction home run. Don't care about the accuracy at all here. Next, we have attack percent on the ring with flat attack base. Let's see what we have. We have triple here on Shamail already. We have another triple on Cupidus. We have a double with Revenge. So let's take a look here. 500 compared to, so it's less than 100 attack. What about the reaction ring? Okay, that one's significantly worse. So I have to decide now. Revenge ring, lose less than 100 attack, or just go with more attack here. I think I'm going to go with Revenge because what did we just talk about? His A1 is all of his power. And giving him even a 5% chance of using this ability, I'm all for it. So Venus, I'm sorry, I don't know where the hell I'm using you, but no longer. Revenge, 5% chance. Now, this is where you have tons of options here. You can go with Savage Gear, I would recommend it. You could go with Cruel Gear, you can go with Attack Gear, Divine Offense. By attack, I did mean normal offense gear, crit rate, whatever works for you and your account. Of course, Savage going to be the best choice. Obviously here, you can go with crit damage, whatever you need. I would try to stay away from things like Avenging, Retaliation, Stalwart Gear. While it may sound good on paper, even Swift Parry, it's not going to be as good in practice because the goal of this build is to have as much damage as possible and full send into Fennec so he's pumping with his A1 ability. You can get away with Fatal for sure. Like I said, this is pretty self-explanatory. Stone Skin is we're going to talk about this more when we start testing this team out. So if you have no way to protect Fennec, you can use a 4-piece Stone Skin gear set. This, of course, is assuming you have Stone Skin and you can get good damage stats on top of having the Stone Skin gear set. I don't think it's really common for many players, but as a failsafe, you can use this if you have it. And then to make sure I cover everything, things like Kill Stroke, Lethal, of course, Instinct, the Battle Pass, Forge Pass, whatever you want to call that gear set, all viable options for sure. So what are we going to do? We are going to give it the usual best set that I have here because I want to impress. Obviously, we're here to do maximum damage, as little speed as possible, and you'll see how we can get around the speed, kind of what we talked about already here. So what should we do here? Let me just find a set that's already on someone else, maybe like a Turvold perhaps, something that's ascended for like, we're just going to do crazy damage here. So at the moment, it's looking like Rhodos has that gear. Next, we want attack percent. Perfect. There is some speed on this, so maybe that's not the way. That has even less speed, although also has one less crit rate. You know what? I'll keep this in mind for now. Not going to change anything, but I'll just keep it in mind. I know I have a good pair of boots and Savage for sure here. Double crit rate here, and crit damage. Yeah, we're going to go with this one for sure. Next we want probably a weapon or helmet. What's the helmet looking like? Triple crit damage. I like that, but crit rate is slacking just a little bit. And you can't empower these champions, so you don't want to, I don't know, get caught left behind too much here. So let's go ahead with this. And then we are going to do helmet and shield in the lovely Cruel set. If you have one of these, hallelujah. If not, don't sweat it. So we need 16% crit rate because I know I have Masteries on it, which is going to be good for the video showing you guys exactly how to mastery this. And we are 4% shy now, so we can go with a really huge crit damage, maybe a little bit of attack as well here. This one's not bad. Let's hit the try on button and see what else we have. Don't need more crit rate, none of this, none of this. So this is probably going to be the one. Yeah, so we're going to go with this one. So this is the build. This is a pumper. If your stats aren't like this, don't worry. This is like way overkill. And when I say way overkill, I mean way overkill. So if you are in gold, let's just say gold, I can give you the roundabout numbers. You're going to aim for like 5.5 to 6,000 attack. And for crit damage, just aim for 250, 260. Even my crit damage on the lower side for like a crazy endgame build. This is definitely front loaded with attack for sure here. And one thing I have now that I did not have before is going to be a blessing. What blessing do I want on this champion? You can already probably guess I want cruelty. Whenever this champion hits an enemy, decreases their defense until the end of the round, occurs once per hit. If multiple champions have this blah blah blah. Ideally I want the 2-star. 4-star would be great as well. I think nothing past 4 stars is really relevant, so if you can snag a 4-star, definitely grab it. So we're going to go ahead and grab this cruelty here. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have a 2-star blessing, but this is the one we want for sure. Now, the easy part's done, gearing Fenax. Like I said, this gear is way overkill. You don't need this by any means. The next part is, who am I going to use for the rest of my arena team? Now, what did I talk about before? You want 3 champions, just ensuring this guy survives. That's all you care about. And you can approach this many different ways here. Obvious choice, of course, is going to be someone like a Duchess. Does everyone have a Duchess? No. Are we going to use a Duchess? Maybe a couple times, but it's not going to be the focus here. Anyone with the bolster set is going to be so good for this champion. If you've been doing the forge passes, if you've been buying them or just doing it for free, you should have a decent amount of bolster gear. So throw it on a champion, use it to the best of your ability here. Why do I have this of all? I definitely have a better one. Let me just find it. Hold on. One moment, please. Why is it on Duchess? That's what I want to know. I could be getting 5,000 more. Same thing with the boots. This is just sitting here. What are we doing? 151,000 health. Why wouldn't I want that? Something suspicious about this. So a bolster champion, again, I understand that the gear I'm showing you and the health I'm showing you is ridiculous in comparison, but you don't have to go this crazy. I'm kind of just showing you because it's more fun showing high quality gear. Doesn't mean that if you use low quality gear it's not viable. I'm going to say this a couple more times because I always get comments saying, cool, so all I need is the best gear in the game and this comp is going to work. No, it works. Another champion you can use is going to be Ultimate Death Knight. This guy's really strong. Murder, why is yours in immunity gear, not in stone skin gear? We can talk about that in another video. Don't leak the strategy. So far, Duchess is really strong. We've gone over any bolster champion with high HP, whether it's Ursuga, Harvest Jack, any epic you have that has very high HP. Ultimate Death Knight, very strong champion to help keep our friend alive here. Necrit, I don't have Necrit. I wish I had Necrit, but I don't. If you have him protecting is going to be so strong. And then once you have your survivability champions all together and you have an extra slot, because you should only really need 2 champions as supports, 3 only if you're severely undergeared or underwhelmed with supports on your account. Try to fit in an ally attack champion. You already know why. Ally attack is, with this guy, crazy strong. You could be hitting into reaction for sure, of course, but if you don't, the term stay down in the stay down team, you see it firsthand instantly. It's kind of like a blender, but a blender that actually works because you can pick the target and the non-stone skin, of course, and it's just really strong here. The other champion that synergizes very well with this is going to be Valkyrie. Why Valkyrie? You already know why Valkyrie. She has counterattack, which means he's going to be A1ing all the time, and she has a shield on top of that for additional survivability. So if I can find my Valkyrie, I can click on Valkyrie, bam, there she is. Why is she in this gear? I don't know. We don't ask questions around here. And the last champion I want to take out for really good synergy is going to be Ronda. Ronda has great debuffs, another champion that's not cured for some reason. And the only other champion I want to talk about is going to be Lydia, for obvious reasons here. Lydia provides what? Defense down and weaken. If you have defense down and weaken on your opponent, one poke from this guy Fenax. I call it a poke because it's an A1. So one poke from this guy and they are, I know they're 60 feet under with Lydia. So we're going to use Lydia because that just sounds like a good time. Lydia is also in a shield set, so we can use, I don't know, Duchess, Lydia, or Suga for double shield. That'll probably look cool at least. And then Fenax. So let's start with that. You don't have Valkyrie geared. If you have Warlord or have Basher, you can use them as well. Locking your opponents out. If they are in stone skin gear, they're just going to be using their A1s, and newsflash, you have the better A1 on your team, so it doesn't matter. You can just wait them out in peace. You won't really have to worry about too much as far as survivability goes. If you do have a Warlord, Basher, Yumeko on your team, you can just use the fast champion, Warlord, any support you want, and then Fenax, and you're going to steamroll pretty much any team in sight here. So I didn't really gear everyone that I wanted to show. I guess one person I should probably gear is Ronda. Let me just slap something on her really quickly. All right, she's fine. Valkyrie, I don't understand what this set is at all. Anybody else? Anybody else? No. Okay, we're good to go. Let's head straight into the arena and just start pumping away. So we are in Gold 5. We are going to be terrorizing some teams for sure. One thing to keep in mind is Fenax is what? Spirit Affinity. Who is Spirit Affinity? Not the greatest against, you guessed it, Rotos the Lost Groom, because he is Blue Affinity. So these are things you definitely want to keep in mind here. Should we fight a Genbo? Should we do them like this? I can show you guys what it's like against a Yumeko. We talked about this. You get locked out, but it's like, who cares? Who cares if we get locked out? Not us. So what are we going to do? We're going to have our Duchess here. We're going to have Lydia, who's going to get locked out. And then finally, we are going to have Ursuga, and then the man, the myth, the legend himself. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Mr. Fenax. Okay, so let's see how we do in this fight, just to show you. And I know people are going to say, Murder, you're bullying teams half your player power. I don't care. Just watch. Okay, so we go first. Why are we going first? We're not going first. Okay. Okay, so this all worked out perfectly so far. A little bit of this. Let's A1 this guy, because why not? Okay, so now we have attack down. Not the best thing. Okay, he's got like every debuff on him. We did pretty much nothing because what are you going to do with attack down on you? Should have brought a cleanse. It would have been the smart thing. Should have brought like a Mithrala instead of Lydia. It just would have made way more sense. So that's my bad there. Actually, we don't want to kill, or we didn't want to kill anybody without Fenax. So hopefully Fenax gets to do something and it's not just my Nuke or Suga in a shield set doing ungodly damage. I swear he's not going to get a kill. Okay, he did get one kill. Okay. So that was a mulligan. We're not even going to count that run at all here. What we are going to do instead is we're going to fight this team here. Marichka, Hegemon. This team is trouble for so many players. So with that being said, let's go ahead and throw in our, who we should have used to begin with, the wonderful Mithrala. Now let me just check and make sure Mithrala has resistance, because if she doesn't have resistance, again, the team's going to be in trouble. So we have hopefully enough. Hopefully that is enough. So let's just full send again. Okay, we got locked out here. We're going to put attack up. Okay, he got slept. Unlucky. What do we do? Cleanse. Counterattack. Bam. What happened? Marichka, I'm sorry. You cannot revive your Baron. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Why this guy's so good. Put him with supports. The dude just dominates. Who do we want to kill next? Should we go for Marichka? We don't have to. We can always go for... This is what's so great about it. You can always go for the revivers last with a team like this. It's just throw on more protection. Why not? So now they have strengthen. Could be a problem. Not for this guy. Sheep, now we just put this on auto. Now it's just flexing at this point. Although, we probably shouldn't auto because he's going to use his A2 and A3. And like I said, this is going to be an A1 only thing. That's all we care about. A1, A1, A1. Okay, now we got that out of the way. A little bit of this. Let's go ahead and hit Marichka now. This is what I'm talking about. These are the things. I know my gear is good. I know my gear is above average. No doubt about it. I'm not going to say anything about it. But The fact that this guy isn't, I mean, that was a weak hit, of course, counterattack, but the fact that nobody's talking about this guy at a wide scale, I don't know why. I really don't. He is so strong right now in the current meta, with everyone running a double reviver, triple reviver, stone skin gear everywhere. Wait it out with him, protect him. He's going to, like I keep saying it, the stay down team. He kills someone, they're down for the count. You're not bringing them back. You're just not. None of these teams really look that impressive, so let's refresh here. We can attempt to... Ooh, this is a tanky team. I like this. What else do we notice here? Ultimate Death Knight, extremely common. Cantrofin, 50-50 on this guy. Yuko, very common. What affinity are these guys? Red. What affinity is Phoenix? Green. So we are going to be pumping. Absolutely pumping. So this is a team where if you had the option to use a Warlord, you 100% would. It would just make things way easier on you. But if you didn't have a Warlord, then you would go with the team like I'm using. Since I'm assuming most players don't have a Warlord or a Basher, we're just going to keep using this team here. Attack up. We don't have too many debuffs. The more debuffs you can use, the much better off you're going to be for sure here. And as we know, Mighty Uko can be quite annoying with stealing the buffs, so I'm curious to see how this goes for sure. Let's go ahead here. There we go. There's the typical stone skin gear. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh, we didn't even use the strip to start. Interesting. Very interesting. So we can't get debuffs on anybody. So let's just use ally protection. Let's go ahead and A1 Duchess. It went straight into the stone skin, to be expected, to be honest. And let's auto it for a bit until we get back to Phoenix. Now this is a team where, okay, there's the first counterattack. It did double hit, so we got a little bit of damage in there. This is the team where I should have brought a debuff strip. That would have been the smart play for sure here. But we're in no rush. As most people watching this video, there is absolutely no rush to be had here. We can simply wait. Now we're going to get, watch, double hit again, even with the ally protection on. And we took no damage from that, so we're fine. This is what I'm talking about. The more debuffs, the better off you are going to be for sure here. Put this back on auto. They're not touching this. Now the stone skin is off. Let's go ahead and A1 him, because why not? A little bit of this. Auto. It's going to be Fennec's turn next. Now he's starting, look, now Ultimate Death Knight starting to take tons of damage from the redirection, which means he's going to die very soon. We used our revive here. We're still on auto. We have Provoke currently, which is going to work against Ultimate Death Knight here. See it? Bam. See you later. Black revive. Bye-bye. One person down. Granted, it's 2 minutes because I've been talking and all that good stuff, pausing it, keeping it off auto, which I have to do again because I don't have a preset. That's probably a good idea for me to make a preset. Okay, look. Almost one shot of Duchess. Right? Granted, it's not AoE. I get it. Don't be hasty. Like I said, no one's really... Okay, that kind of showed how strong his other abilities are, but you really want to focus on the A1. Don't even consider what you just saw there. Just don't look at it. Don't do it. Trust me. Just don't. All right. Any other good teams? Any other good teams? Ultimate Death Knight team again. That's pretty nice. Let's go for this one. Okay. So here, what do we got? What do we got? We can go with the strip. I think we're okay to go with the strip here. Dare I say it? Let's even get rid of Mithrala. So we got speed, and we'll do like who's a debuff strip with increased speed? Someone like a Lady Akimi? Do I have Lady Kimi? I do. Okay, let's use this. Now let's see what we can do here. Increase attack. Beautiful. Now we have this one, removing a random buff, which we're not going to be able to do, and increasing speed. Beautiful. Let's debuff who we can. Okay, now we just get to pick who we want to kill here. The question is, can we do like a 2-in-1 kill? Okay, so we didn't get attack down on us. Let's do this. I wonder if I go and hit the Magnar, if I'm going to kill both Magnar and Ultimate Death Knight. Let's find out together. This is what I'm talking about. How annoying is Ultimate Death Knight? How annoying is he? Not as annoying as bringing a Phoenix on offense. That much I will tell you for sure here. Granted, we got lucky because they didn't cleanse. Oh, I forgot about the reflecting. Well, that kind of sucks. But he's back. We have a reviver. We talked about this. Bring supports. All of your damage will come from Phoenix here. Let's take this off auto. He's stacked full of debuffs. Even though he's weak affinity, bam. 65k. GG easy. So this is what I'm talking about here. And of course, when you're facing teams, this should be obvious for any arena enthusiasts here. Make sure you keep in mind who you're using against whatever team. Don't just say, I'm using these 4 champions because I saw Murder use them in a video, and have that as your default team. It does not work that way. You have to pick champions that make sense based on who you're fighting. Speaking of who you're fighting, what a team this is. So we got to be really careful here. We are going to go with, this will be the last one for sure. Yeah, we need to be real careful. This is where, if you're going to go against the Rotos with the Phoenix, you want someone like a Warlord. If not, you might want to stay away from Rotos teams. Because if you hit him and you weak hit and you proc that passive of his, he's just going to start pumping extra turns. And I would say, okay, just bring Ultimate Death Knight with Phoenix. What's the issue with that? Anybody? What's the issue with that? You know what the issue is. Come on. They also have a Foley on the team right next to him with a block revive as well. So if we lose Phoenix once, it's a game set match, which is why I want the lockout. So lockout, Ultimate Death Knight, this guy. Probably a gamble. I should consider using Ursuga instead, but I'm not going to because we're here to gamble live for this video for sure. So block debuffs, attack up, lock the enemy out, easy. Now we're not worried. Who are we going to kill first? It doesn't really matter, to be honest. More survivability, because you can never really have too much. Extra turns. There's the counterattack. Now we have a debuff on Rotos. So, what does this say? Places an extra hit if the target has any debuffs. Let's go for it. Bam. Double hit. 19,000 damage. Not the most damage, but we know Rotos and how his passive works. Now we can just hit auto. He's going to use his A2 or A3, but we've seen the A1 plenty of times for you guys to get the point as to how strong, just how strong, this guy Phoenix is against pretty much any team you see. Whether it's Marichka and Terrace, taking out one of the duo and making sure they cannot come back is going to be invaluable. Now I'm telling you, invaluable. So that's it. That's going to conclude this video on Phoenix. Get him out of the vault. Find him in your vault. He's probably level 1 sitting somewhere. Dust him off. Next champion training. Don't we have one currently going on? Let's take a look. I think we just had one. Maybe it's a tournament. Yeah, champion training. You have a day and an hour. Get those Phoenix. Get him up to 60. Book them. I mean, you don't even really... It depends. If your gear is strong enough, you don't have to book him. If it's not strong enough, you don't have to book him. So let's just take a look here. The A1, you get 20% additional damage to his A1 ability. It's not game-changing. It helps for sure, but it's not game-changing. If your gear isn't very good based on the opponents you're fighting, you're going to want to book this guy. And unfortunately, you have an A2 and an A3. They do put out decent damage, mostly the A2 that's an AoE. And you can get lucky, I guess, with the block buffs, block active skills for sure. But again, your main focus here is going to be this A1 extra hit with debuffs. Your debuffer could get sheeped, who cares? Because you're block reviving the target you hit. That your debuffer had the job of putting the debuffs on to make sure they didn't come back to life, so it's just worth it in the end, trust. So that's going to conclude Fennex here, get those builds going. Here are the masteries that I picked here. Why did I pick Opportunist? Because it scales extremely well. 12% extra damage is huge. So, pairing this champion with a stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, petrification, you name it. This is mostly for kind of the higher up levels of the arena where the teams aren't going to fall over as easily as I showed you here. That was mostly just for fun, picking on, I guess the Marichka team wasn't terrible, but picking on more meta champions. Once that is the case, they're going to survive a lot longer. This is where Mithrala petrifies targets quite often. You can use, I don't know, Yuko in the stun set. You can use someone like a Mishold for the fear, getting that fear up and then having your Fennex go is just tons of damage. And like I said, the 12% of Opportunist scales incredibly well with this guy since he does hit twice. So if you're not taking that, you can of course go with Wrath of the Slain. You do not need Cycle of Violence at all here. And then of course Helm Smasher to round things out. So that's going to conclude this video. Enjoy Fennex. Enjoy everything he has to offer. And this is one of those things where I'd say he might get phased out eventually. The thing is, Fennex, like I said, it's confusing as to why people aren't talking about him because he's always been good. He's just especially strong right now based on the current champions that are considered meta. And with how common Yumeko is, Warlord, Basher, people who lock out your skills. Even someone like a Ronda, and kind of the point, even though I didn't show Ronda like I had planned to, you use Ronda on anybody, she applies debuffs, she's fast, you hit the target that you used Ronda on and you just kill it instantly right away. Their passive is disabled, their cooldowns are locked out, they have 2 debuffs on them. Fennex just cleans up. So Fennex is love, Fennex is life. This is the Stay Down composition featuring this amazing epic champion that quite a few players probably have here. So enjoy your new builds. Have fun. I know I have tons of fun when I've used this guy in the past, and even right now for this video, I've had tons of fun so far. So if you enjoy this content, it means the world to me, and this channel helps out a ton. If you could subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next upload, smash that like button, and I will see you all in my next upload.